Welcome back to English Podcast course. Today, we'll practice fun English conversations for.
All right, let's dive in. Everyone loves a good travel story. So, rumor has it, you're plotting a serious getaway. What sparked this sudden urge to pack your bags and go?
I think it's honestly been brewing for ages. Every time I scroll through social media and see friends in Bali or hiking in Patagonia, the wanderlust just builds. This year I decided, why not me? It's time to make it happen.
I get that. Watching everyone living their best lives can be both inspiring and, let's be real, a little bit of FOMO-inducing. So, have you zeroed in on where you want to go? Or are you still playing destination roulette?
You know, that's the hard part. I've got a Google Doc with 20 possible places, somewhere sunny, somewhere with mountains, maybe even a city with endless food options. I'm open to suggestions if you have a wildcard pick.
My vote's always for anywhere with good food. But that's just me. Were there any contenders that got you especially excited? Or maybe some that got axed immediately?
Italy was at the top of my list. I mean, pasta and art. Who could say no? But then I started looking at flight prices and, wow, reality check. Southeast Asia is now in the running because it's affordable, and I can stretch my budget for way more experiences.
That's smart. Sometimes you realize that your dream spot might have to wait until you win the lottery. Southeast Asia is a solid choice, though, so much to see. And the street food alone is legendary. Has budget been the main deal breaker for you?
It's definitely playing a big role. The more I dive into planning, the more I realize how quickly costs add up: flights, places to stay, all those hidden expenses. But honestly, it's also making me get creative with priorities.
That's the spirit, getting crafty with travel plans. Have you found any sneaky hacks or apps that help cut down on costs? I bet the research rabbit hole has been wild.
Oh, absolutely. I've become obsessed with flight comparison sites. Sometimes the prices change by the hour. I also discovered that booking a hostel for a night can actually unlock a ton of free local tours. Who knew?
I love that hostels used to just mean bunk beds and questionable showers, but now it's like, here's a cooking class and a walking tour. Have fun. Any unexpected tips you've picked up so far?
Sign up for newsletters. Even if your inbox hates you sometimes, that's where the best last-minute deals are hiding. Plus, I've learned to always check if there's a festival happening because prices can double overnight.
That actually reminds me, planning is half the battle. But what about the nerves? Are you feeling excited, anxious, or maybe a chaotic mix of both?
It's a total roller coaster. One minute I'm giddy, picturing myself on some beach. The next I'm panicking about missing flights or losing my passport. I've started making way too many checklists just to calm myself down.
Honestly, over-preparing is a travel rite of passage. Last time I traveled, I had a packing list, a backup list, and a list for my lists. Sometimes you just have to embrace the chaos. Got any plans for handling those inevitable surprises?
I'm trying to adopt a go-with-the-flow mindset. If I get lost, I'll just call it exploring. And if things go wrong, at least they'll make for a good story later.
That attitude is everything. But I'm curious, do you think this trip is about the destination, or is it also about doing something just for you?
It's definitely a little bit of both. Sure, I want to see new places and eat all the things, but I also want that sense of independence. There's something about navigating a foreign country that just screams personal growth to me.
I totally get that. Traveling forces you out of your comfort zone, but in the best way. Sometimes it's the weird little moments, like trying to order coffee in a new language, that stick with you most.
Exactly. It's those wobbly first steps in a new place that make the whole adventure worth it. Besides, if all else fails, at least I'll have some wild stories to share when I get back.
So, let's kick things off with the big question of the day. Do you like this color? I have to say, when I first saw it, I felt, a weird mix of curiosity and hesitation.
That reaction makes sense. The color is definitely bold, almost like it's daring you to form an opinion. For me, there's something energizing about it, but it also reminds me of that time I tried to repaint my kitchen and completely underestimated how much mood a wall color can affect.
Oh, I totally relate. I once picked a shade just because it looked cool in the store, but at home it was like living inside a highlighter. It's funny how a color can look so different depending on the context.
Absolutely. Lighting changes everything. And people's color preferences can be super personal. I have a friend who swears by neon orange, which I can barely look at without squinting.
That actually reminds me, do you think colors really change our moods? Or is it just hype? Because I swear, whenever I wear blue, I feel way calmer.
I feel the same. There's science behind it too. Blues and greens are supposed to be calming, while reds get your heart racing. Once, I tried working in a room with red walls, and I was practically vibrating by lunchtime.
That sounds intense. I read somewhere that fast food chains use reds and yellows because they make people eat faster or feel hungrier. Now, every time I see those colors, I crave fries.
It's wild how much psychology goes into these choices. I mean, even sports teams pick specific colors to intimidate their opponents. It's not just about style, it's strategy.
Speaking of strategy, have you ever had a total color fail? Like, you think something looks amazing, and then you live with it and wonder what you were thinking?
Oh, I have a classic. I bought these bright green sneakers thinking I'd look super sporty, but every time I wore them, I felt like a traffic cone on a jog. My friends didn't let me forget it either.
That's hilarious. I once dyed my hair a deep purple, expecting this cool, mysterious vibe. Turns out, under sunlight, it was more grape soda than mystery. Definitely learn to test small first.
Exactly. And sometimes it's the opposite colors you'd never pick end up working out. My favorite sweater now is this odd mustard shade I only tried on as a joke. Go figure.
Funny you mention odd picks. Did you know that colors mean totally different things in other cultures? Like, white means purity here, but it can mean mourning elsewhere.
Yeah, that always fascinates me. Red, for example, is luck and happiness in China, but can mean danger or love in the West. It really changes how you see a color once you know that.
And sometimes, what we think is trendy might seem totally off in another country. I saw a travel blogger once get weird looks just for wearing a yellow dress in Italy. Apparently, it's not a popular choice there.
I love that fashion as a global language, but with all these secret rules, it makes me want to dig in and find out what my favorite colors say about me everywhere else.
So, after all this, would you go bold with color in your daily life or play it safe? I keep telling myself to try one wild thing, but I always chicken out at the last minute.
Honestly, I've started sneaking in bolder choices, a bright scarf here, neon socks there. It's like a tiny act of rebellion against beige. The fun part is seeing people's reactions. Some love it, some just look confused.
That's the spirit. Maybe the next time I'm tempted by a strange shade, I'll just go for it. Worst case, it's a conversation starter, right?
Absolutely. Life's too short for boring colors. Plus, you never know, you might inspire someone else to ditch the neutrals and join in the fun. Let's make color confidence a thing.
You're grinning like you just won the lottery. What's going on? Spill it.
I've got some good news and I couldn't wait to tell you. It's one of those days where life actually throws you a bone instead of a curveball.
Now you've officially piqued my curiosity. Is this good news about you, the world, or surprise donuts in the break room?
I wish it was donuts, but this is even better, at least for me. It's personal, and honestly, I haven't felt this giddy in ages.
Okay, I can't handle the suspense. Are you moving to Tahiti? Finally publishing that novel? Or did your dog learn to ride a skateboard?
I mean, if my dog ever learns to skateboard, that'll be headline news. But no, after months of slogging through interviews, I landed the job I've been dreaming about.
That's seriously amazing. All those late-night pep talks and stressful mornings paid off. What was it like getting the call?
Honestly, I thought it was another spam call at first. Then I heard the recruiter's voice, and I swear my heart did a cartwheel. It's all still sinking in.
I totally get that. There's nothing like the anxiety of waiting by the phone or refreshing your email every 5 minutes. Did you celebrate yet?
Not really, unless you count dancing around my living room with my dog as a party. But I'm thinking a real celebration is in order. Waiting was brutal, though felt like time was moving in reverse.
Waiting is the worst. I remember waiting for my own job offer last year, and I started organizing my sock drawer just to cope. Wild times.
Oh, I've alphabetized my spice rack and cleaned out my inbox. Desperation leads to some serious productivity in weird places.
Honestly, your good news is a breath of fresh air. Feels like lately we mostly hear about doom and gloom. Why do you think sharing good news matters so much?
It's like a reset button reminds us that things can go right, not just wrong. Plus, sharing it with people makes it feel real, like you're not just dreaming it up.
That's so true. It's almost contagious, in a good way. I feel lighter already just hearing it. Makes me want to pass on the positivity.
That's the magic, isn't it? It's like good news creates ripples. Before you know it, even your grumpy neighbor is smiling and asking what's up.
Speaking of ripples, how are you planning to celebrate? Because I'm pretty sure this calls for more than just an organized spice rack.
I was actually hoping you'd join me for a low-key dinner or, a victory lap at the karaoke bar. Nothing says celebration like off-key singing and questionable dance moves.
You know I can't resist a chance to belt out Livin' on a Prayer. Let's do it. And hey, maybe someone else will hear our laughter and get their own little boost.
That's exactly the plan. Here's to good news. Good friends and questionable karaoke, because sometimes happiness is worth making a little noise about.
So, I've got to ask, did you have one of those bizarre dreams last night? Or was it just boring old sleep for you?
Total fever dream, honestly. I was in an enormous library where every book had a different weather pattern inside. I opened one and suddenly it started raining around me. My sheets were dry, thankfully.
That's incredible. I always end up in endless grocery stores or getting chased by ducks. Your subconscious is way more creative than mine.
Well, I think my brain decided to run wild after all the fantasy novels I read lately. Have you ever had one of those dreams where the setting just shifts out of nowhere, like 1 minute you're inside, the next you're underwater?
Oh, for sure. My favorite is when you walk through a door and suddenly you're on a roller coaster. No logic, just chaos. Speaking of sudden shifts, did your dream have any sense to it, or was it just pure randomness?
If there was a hidden message, it's lost on me. I mean, does dreaming about raining books mean I want knowledge to literally pour into my brain? Or maybe my roof is leaky, who knows?
Honestly, dream interpretation feels like reading tea leaves, but with more embarrassing details. Part of me wants to believe there's a hidden agenda, like my brain is sending cryptic messages.
Right. But then I remember that one where I was marrying a slice of pizza. If that's my brain's idea of a life goal, I might need new aspirations.
You know, I bet Freud would have a field day with that one. Tell me about your relationship with cheese.
Now that you mention it, I do spot some repeats. I keep dreaming about losing my shoes during a race. Doesn't matter the context, always shoeless and sprinting.
That's so weirdly specific. Mine's always about missing the last train home. It's like my mind really enjoys that panicky, you're too late feeling.
It's wild how our brains latch onto certain anxieties, even when we're trying to relax. I wonder if there's a universal dream that everyone has at least once.
Falling seems to be the winner there. Or showing up to work in your pajamas, which honestly would just make the commute more comfortable.
Funny you say that. Last week I had a nightmare where my phone screen shattered and turned into a swarm of bees. Woke up clutching my pillow like it owed me money.
That's brutal. Meanwhile, I had a dream where I could fly, but only if I sang the national anthem at the top of my lungs. My neighbors probably think I've started a new hobby.
Hey, at least your dreams come with a soundtrack. Mine just come with panic and bees. I'd pick singing over stinging any night.
Deal. Next time you get the flying, I'll take the rain of knowledge. It's a dream swap.
What surprised me most is how sometimes, after a wild dream, I wake up actually feeling different, like motivated, or, on rare occasions, totally exhausted.
Right? Sometimes a nightmare leaves me checking the locks twice, or a happy dream sticks around and puts me in a good mood all day. It's weird how much they can bleed into real life.
Totally. Occasionally, I'll even get an idea from a dream and jot it down, only to find it makes zero sense in the morning. But every once in a while, there's a hidden gem.
That's why I keep a notepad by my bed just in case my subconscious drops a masterpiece. Who knows? Maybe tonight's dream will be tomorrow's big idea. I swear, the moment my parents left me alone to babysit my little sister, it was like flipping a switch. She went from angelic to absolute gremlin in under 10 seconds.
Oh, wow. So the classic as soon as the adults are gone transformation? My cousin used to do that. Suddenly she'd be swinging from the curtains, and I'd just stand there like, how do I even stop this?
Exactly. She suddenly had endless energy and this mischievous grin, like she'd been planning chaos all week. And to think, I thought we'd just watch cartoons and call it a night.
Cartoons, what a dream. Mine would pull out every toy she owned, build some kind of booby trap with Legos, and then blame me when she tripped over it. Babysitting is basically a crash course in disaster prevention.
And speaking of disasters, the snack situation always turns into a full-blown negotiation. Suddenly, she's got the bargaining skills of a high-powered lawyer when it comes to cookies.
Honestly, those little ones know exactly how to work the system. My sister once offered me her allowance 10 cents if I'd let her have gummy bears before dinner. Like, is this bribery or an economics lesson?
It gets wild. She'll pull out the puppy eyes, start making deals. If you let me stay up 15 more minutes, I'll clean my room tomorrow. The thing is, she never remembers the deal the next day.
Totally every promise dissolves by morning. I remember agreeing to a no bedtime if there's a full moon clause. And guess who was wide awake in her unicorn pajamas at 11 p.m.?
You know, once I realized negotiation was getting me nowhere, I started using distractions. Blanket forts became my go-to. She'd get so into building them, she'd forget about snacks entirely.
Blanket forts are the ultimate move. I used to invent entire treasure hunts around the house just to keep her occupied. One time, the treasure was literally a single chocolate chip, but the adventure took an hour.
That's genius! Sometimes we'd create these epic make-believe scenarios. She'd be the queen. I'd have to be her royal butler. Honestly, it was way more fun than I wanted to admit.
It's funny how those silly games totally flip the mood. Suddenly, you go from referee to co-conspirator, and the babysitting hours start to fly by.
But just when you think you've cracked the code, something goes off the rails, like the time she tried to make magic potion in the bathroom sink. I'm still finding glitter in my socks.
Glitter is relentless. My sister once decided to wash the cat during bath time. 10 minutes later, the cat's hiding, she's crying, and I'm trying to mop up soapy paw prints before Mom gets home.
Oof, I've had my fair share of tears too. It's that split second when you have to go from playmate to crisis manager and you're silently praying she won't remember this when she tattles to Mom.
That's the babysitter's paradox. You want them to have fun, but you also don't want to end up in the family hall of shame. It's a delicate dance, and sometimes it ends with you bribing them with extra bedtime stories just for peace.
All these wild moments make for some epic stories, though. Looking back, I realized babysitting built this weirdly strong bond between us. Nothing says teamwork like surviving a 2am pillow fight.
I totally get that. Through all the chaos, you end up figuring each other out in the funniest ways. My sister still thinks I have pizza ordering superpowers because of that one night we made a fort and ate cold pizza.
It's true, those silly adventures and even the disasters stick with you. And next time my parents ask me to babysit, I know there's chaos coming, but part of me actually looks forward to it.
Honestly, it's those wild nights that become inside jokes for years. Babysitting little siblings might be exhausting, but it's also kind of the best accidental training for life and for surviving family reunions, too.
It always amazes me how something as basic as dirty dishes can spark the most heated debates at home. Like, why is it always such a big deal?
Honestly, I think it's because dishes never seem to actually disappear. No matter how often you wash them, there's always more. It's like a magic trick, except way less fun.
That's so true. And somehow, everyone always claims they did them last time, which just adds fuel to the fire. My brother once even wrote the date on the calendar to prove his point.
Oh, I've seen that strategy. One of my roommates started snapping photos of the empty sink as evidence. It worked for about a week before we all just started ignoring her texts.
That actually reminds me of the wild excuses people come up with to dodge dish duty. Like, I can't wash dishes after 8 p.m., it messes with my sleep.
Oh, I've definitely heard the "I cooked, so I shouldn't have to clean" classic. It always pops up right after nobody wants to touch the spaghetti pot.
Or the disappearing act. Suddenly, everyone needs to walk the dog or take a very urgent phone call as soon as dinner ends.
One time, my friend pretended to have a Zoom meeting just to escape dish duty. She sat at her laptop with headphones on, but I could see she was just watching cat videos.
You know what's funny? Despite all the drama, some people actually claim washing dishes is relaxing. Like, they turn on a podcast and just zen out.
I totally get that. There's something oddly satisfying about scrubbing a stubborn pan and watching it go from gross to gleaming. It's like a tiny victory in the middle of chaos.
Exactly. And sometimes I use dishwashing as an excuse to escape awkward family conversations. Sorry, I can't argue about vacation plans. I'm on sponge duty.
That's genius. I've started to appreciate dish time as my unofficial thinking spot. It's just me, some hot water, and whatever random song I'm humming.
Switching gears a bit, do you think dishwashers have solved any of this drama? Or just shifted the blame around? I feel like who didn't unload the dishwasher is the new argument.
You're so right. In my family, the dishwasher is more like a holding cell. Clean dishes just camp out in there until someone reluctantly puts them away.
We tried making a chart for rotating duties, but after 2 weeks, only the cat seemed to care. Charts always start strong and then mysteriously vanish.
Yeah, and somehow there's always that one rogue mug that everyone pretends not to see. It's the household equivalent of "not my circus, not my monkeys."
After all this, maybe the secret is just accepting the dishes and the arguments are here to stay. Like, you can fight it or just roll with it.
Honestly, I've made peace with the chaos. These days, if I see a pile, I just put on music and power through. It's way less stressful than keeping score.
Plus, it gives you bragging rights for at least 24 hours. Remember when I washed all those pans? Just saying.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe one day we'll all have robot dishwashers that also settle arguments. Until then, I'm sticking with my trusty sponge and playlist.
Thanks you and see you next time.